rotisserie chicken, which I had never seen before. Never seen in my life. Thought, this is great. This will get over the sting of Magic City Night being canceled in the Hawks Magic game. Well, I got home. It did not taste like lemon pepper. Nowhere close. I've had lemon pepper wings from Wingstop before. Those are good. But this was nothing like what I thought I was going to be eating. And I was thoroughly disappointed. Almost as disappointed as I was when I heard that the NBA was putting the kibosh on Magic City Night.
So the grade you would give it was not hitting.
D+. D+. There was no lemon flavor to it.
Some things are just not meant to be put together. That is the lesson we have learned. Not able to listen to all the Clinton and Friends today. Catch up on the show on the Clinton and Friends podcast. Available daily wherever you get your podcast. Let's go to the watering hole.
Time to check my social media. To see who loves me online.
Dulcet tones, Dustin Acuna, and the circle of life. Show historian, you're now calling him that, Courtney, Don Jenver, says if baseball wants to be hockey at the Olympics, they have to go back to the 80s and leave a miracle on the diamond for everyone to idolize. That feeling they're chasing, after seeing how the Olympics swept up fans across the country, just isn't there for baseball. I agree 100%.
Yep.
That's the thing. You cannot, one for one, apples to apples, just say because you stick a baseball team on the field who represents USA while they're playing on U.S. soil, that all of a sudden people are going to care. It just doesn't work that way.
Even last night when I'm watching USA and Mexico, I felt like the crowd cutaway shots were mostly fans of Mexico.
Yeah.
Did you notice that too?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that the United States doesn't have fans that are fans of the World Baseball Classic, but let's not act like all of a sudden this thing becomes part of LA 28, that it's going to have the same sort of effect that men's and women's hockey did this past February out in Milan.
Not even close. I've been to these games where the U.S. played. Trust me, they're getting out-swagged by everybody all the time. Lowsman 661, the vice president of the local chapter of the Handsome Man community, says, CY, do you have an inside track on why catchers aren't shaking hands with batters who are saying hi to them, not even if they're teammates? Is it really the pine tar? There was a situation in the Australia-Czechia game in which a guy said, no, I don't want to shake hands with you. And then yesterday, Cal Raleigh and Randy Arozarena, teammates, had a little standoff at the plate. No, I don't know. I've asked everybody. It's becoming a little bit of a bit. The pine tar probably has something to do with it, but it's a weird look, but it also kind of makes me laugh for it.
I didn't notice that yesterday, but now that you say it, I feel like we haven't actually seen an interaction in the World Baseball Classic like that, where usually it's a sign of respect.
Right.
Team players from different countries getting a chance to stand in front of guys they normally wouldn't, because remember, not everybody plays in Major League Baseball and gets to see each other multiple times a year.
This is true.
So yeah, now that I guess I'm going to be looking for that from here on out. I'll look for it today when the United States plays Italy and see if we have any interactions of that sort.
All right, and now, remember, lastly, if you put AI slop in my feed, you're not getting on this show. And with that, the circle of life is closed. Devin, what's on the menu quickly?
We have a teriyaki chicken wrap, a roasted
thumbs
green,
up.
roasted green bean salad,
Thumbs down.
pasta station on Tuesdays,
Sure.
curried cauliflower and potato soup,
Don't love that.
Thumbs up.
Southwest chicken and rice soup,
Yep.
and
Okay.
a Philly cheesesteak MTJ, more than just soup. I'm
2 thumbs down for that.
because here's the thing, it might be too thin, but you want it to be thick if it's a cheese. I don't know. This is weird to me.
Just
Yeah,
leave
I don't
well
really-
enough alone. Leave a Philly cheesesteak to be a Philly cheesesteak.
Thank you,
and not
Courtney.
something
Thank you.
else.
That's a good call. What you got coming up, Corey? Any more hosting appearances quickly?
Yeah, and then free agency. I mean, what's going to happen the next couple hours? It's been relatively quiet, so
Yeah.
we shall see.
All right. The Rich Eisen Show is coming up next. I get to get back to the classroom because it's going to be fun. This has been Clinton and Friends on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I will see you on campus, kiddos.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, we've seen it all, and we're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at hrblock.com.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. East Carolina senior right-hander Gavin Van Kempen received honorable mention this week, according to the American Conference yesterday. Van Kempen threw 7 innings, allowing just 3 hits, 3 walks, and 11 strikeouts against Coastal Carolina last weekend. East Carolina will be back in action this afternoon at 4 o'clock when they face off against Old Dominion at Clark LeClaire Stadium. And East Carolina freshman softball pitcher Sidney Rainford was named Conference Pitcher of the Week after the Pirates won the series over Wichita State over the weekend. The Indiana native was superb in her 2 appearances in the Circle last week, earning 2 complete game shutout wins, allowing just 4 hits in 12 innings. Shane Winkler's ball club will travel to Florida Atlantic for a weekend series beginning on Friday at 6 o'clock on ESPN+. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. Looking for friendly service and hometown convenience? Make it Country Mart in Pitt County. With 2 great locations already serving our community, Country Mart is your one-stop shop for fresh hot food, cold drinks, snacks, fuel, and everyday essentials, all with the fast, friendly service you can count on. And we're growing. A brand new location is coming soon on Highway 11 right across from Aidan Crifton High School. From breakfast biscuits to afternoon pick-me-ups and the best fuel prices in town, Country Mart keeps Pitt County moving. Country Mart, local, convenient, and always friendly.
Hi, I'm sure you heard the bells and whistles next door. We're just securing your neighbor's house with the smart home features like cameras and security.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, hi, yes, I'm Mike with SCI Technologies. You know, Eastern North Carolina's premier security provider. We do fire alarm, audio, video, and security.
Ooh, how can you help me?
Give us a call, 252-321-7006 for a complimentary quote, or you can email us at info@sciteks.com.
Eastern North Carolina's newest concert destination is here. It's Carolina Crossroads Amphitheater, a brand new state-of-the-art outdoor amphitheater with room for 30,000 fans. Reserve your seat or grab a spot on the lawn and enjoy food trucks, vendors, cold beer, and cocktails all night long. It's just a short drive away right off I-95 in Roanoke Rapids. Carolina Crossroads Amphitheater, showcasing world-class entertainment and delivering exceptional experiences for every guest. Visit CarolinaCrossroadsAmp.com for more information. A quick getaway to paradise is as easy as breezing into 34 Degrees North restaurant at the Beaufort Hotel. Enjoy coastal Carolina cuisine featuring fresh local seafood or savor their hand-cut steaks. It's the premier dining destination on the Crystal Coast. The waterfront restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, dinner, and their popular weekend brunch. 34 Degrees North restaurant in Beaufort is open daily. Visit their website, 34degreesnorthrestaurant.com, or call 252-838-7250. 34 Degrees North restaurant at the Beaufort Hotel.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bond. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Are you looking to purchase a new home, or are you considering refinancing your current mortgage? This is Talbot Green at Integrity Home Mortgage. We offer a wide variety of loan programs to help get you pre-approved. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir has over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with superior customer service you deserve. To get started, call me, Talbot Green, 714-2076.
Talbot Green, NMLS 120331. For informational purposes only. Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender. NMLS 208516.
This is Pirate Radio. WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville. WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, DriveHereNow.com, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Good Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into our show. We've got a jam-packed show for you. All kinds of things going on. We're going to be joined by Todd Gibson, my good friend Gibby, in Raleigh to kind of preview the ACC basketball tournament. And he had something happen to him that is absolutely wild, and we've got the pictures to show it. So we're going to have that for you coming up in just a bit. In about 20 minutes or so, Kim McNeill, head basketball coach for the East Carolina ladies. She has her team as the number 2 seed in the upcoming American tournament. We'll talk to Coach McNeill from campus at East Carolina. And then later in our show, Perry Tyndall, the Kinston High School basketball coach, as his team gets set to play for the state 3A championship coming up later on this week. Lots to talk about, lots to get to. We'll be doing all of that after this.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in ENC. Open at noon 7 days a week with live music. Come enjoy sports trivia with me, Clip Rock, every Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's live local acoustic night, along with line dancing from 7 to 9 on Wednesday. Thursday, there's a brand new lineup with Singo starting at 8, followed by karaoke with DJ Dog. Ladies and free both Friday and Saturday nights with the best local bands in the area. Finish the weekend with free games and DJ Kids Scene.
Y'all come get fucked up.
Come celebrate the next big Pirates win at the Rick House. The Rick House is Greenville and Eastern North Carolina's premier American-themed restaurant.
I'm Jeremy Shelton, General Manager at the Rick House. Come see us for a big city feel right here in Greenville. I guarantee you'll have a great experience.
We feature the very best bourbons around, our made-from-scratch pastas are to die for, and nobody does steak like the Rick House. We also feature an early dining special from 4 to 6. Come see us at the Rick House, Red Banks Road in Greenville.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's Bostic Sugg Furniture's Lazy Boy Market Sample Sell-Off. We bought out an entire showroom of 100 one-of-a-kind pieces of Lazy Boy furniture. Now we're selling it all at drastically reduced prices. Floor samples slashed an additional 50 to 70% off. This is a one-time opportunity to shop extreme sell-off prices on brand new Lazy Boy styles, recliners, power recliners, sectionals, and leather furniture, designer chairs, cocktail ottomans, and much more. Hurry! You will never, ever find Lazy Boy furniture at such low prices again at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Enjoy the warm air, circulating moments after you turn up the heat. Precise control of cooking temperatures. Enough hot water on demand for everyone's shower. The instant glow of warmth when you turn on your fireplace or fire pit. Never having to change a gas tank on your outdoor grill. Experience the affordable luxury of natural gas. Find out more at GUC.com.
Your future is full of possibilities, and Pitt Community College can help you explore every option. You can earn a degree, learn a trade, transfer to a university, or launch a new career. We offer the support you need to succeed with flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and programs designed for the real world. Your path, your future, your college. Pitt Community College. Register now.
This is Josh Moylan, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Tuesday. Todd Gibson from CBS 17 in Raleigh, the former WNCT sports reporter who left us for the big city, joins us now as we kind of talk about the ACC tournament, little March Madness, that kind of thing. And Gibby has a story to tell. We'll get to that in just a moment. But Gibby, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Brian. Thanks for having me on your show.
I'm a little worried after seeing some of the pictures, but everything's okay now, right?
Yeah, everything's okay. It didn't take long, and it really didn't hurt that bad. Should I explain what went on?
Yeah. Let's don't bury the lead. Let's get to it. All right. So for our YouTube audience, you can see the picture. We got the picture up now. All right, I got the pictures up now. I really thought Suzanne got you when you came home late one night, but that wasn't the case, right?
No, she was the first likely suspect, but it's scared of it for sure. No, it was like 5 minutes to go in the Clemson UNC basketball game. Loose ball came my way. I didn't even see it. There was a block. The ball's coming towards me. I didn't even see it, and out of nowhere comes Jaron Stevenson, and he just took me out. And it's probably good I didn't see it.
I bet.
I lost that loose ball battle with Jaron Stevens, no question about it. Camera went back, and some part of it, some hard part of it, must have got my forehead and put a good little gash in there. But now they stopped the bleeding, and the towel guy is usually right behind me, and he took one of the towel guy wipes before he runs out there. He got me pretty quick and put the towel over top of me. And then they brought the chair out. They wanted me to wheel me in. I'm not going to wheel in. So they waited for the 4-minute TV timeout, and I walked back, and they got the bleeding stopped. They took me upstairs and looked me over, and the game was still going on. And I'm thinking to myself, Brian, man, if they could just get the bleeding stopped, I grab my camera and go back down, do like Willis Reed, return to the court.
There you go, Willis Reed.
that was years ago for our audience. I probably don't remember him, but no, the bleeding they got stopped, and then I went to. I stayed after because Seth Trimble had his senior talk on the court, so I was able to get back in time to shoot that. Able to go in the locker room and shoot post game, and then get Hubert at the podium as well. So I got back into the action pretty quick and went after it, but. It was quite an event. It took me 4 hours. Took 4 hours at the ER for them to actually get to me, which was the worst part.
They didn't realize who you were. That's what that was. They just didn't understand that was Gibby. Now, for those of you that don't understand the whole concept, as a local TV station, you're allowed to shoot the games, and you're on the baseline. So you're on the baseline right there, and usually you're sometimes you have a chair, sometimes you don't have a chair. You're sitting on the hardwood. Right. But that's when the ball comes in there. And let me tell you something. There's not a whole lot of places you can go, is there?
Nope. No place you can go. No place you can go. It's not like football when you're on your feet and you can see it coming. You can move left. You can move right. There is no place to go whatsoever. So that was the worst hit I took. But amazingly, it probably didn't hurt as much as years ago. I got stepped on by J.R. Reed, and if you guys remember him, huge. He stepped on my foot, and I think that hurt even worse. But no blood in that one. But I think the blood and the gore in this one kind of made it stand out a little bit. But now I'm doing fine. I really felt I didn't feel bad at all. Didn't know I was bleeding at first, and then because my first reaction was to check my camera to see if it was okay, and it was okay. I was shocked that it was okay after that hit. I really was happy about that. But now they stopped the bleeding pretty quick, and I was able to get back in the game.
Man, I tell you what, real trooper. When I saw that picture, I was like, holy, the first thing I thought, I read what you said, and I didn't understand it exactly. And then I looked at the pictures, and I thought, man, he might have been in a car accident, and he's joking about how it really happened. But you were telling the truth, that's how it happened. But we're glad you're okay, and get you back ready to go, bandage you up, and get you back in the ball game, because you got a big week coming up. Now, for the ACC tournament, since it's in Charlotte, it's an easy get for a lot of us in North Carolina. Will you guys be up there the whole week?
We're heading up tomorrow morning bright and early because NC State's got the noon game. So we'll leave Raleigh about 7 o'clock in the morning, get there in time for that game. And that'll be the only game we got on Wednesday. And then, of course, things pick up huge with UNC and Duke playing both on Thursday. But, yeah, we'll go up there and we'll stay we're scheduled to stay right through the championship game and drive back late on Saturday night. So that's our plan. And hopefully we'll have one of our 3 local teams in the championship game.
You mean you're going to miss Stanford, Pitt, SMU, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech, Wake Forest today?
I'm just going to have to check box score on that one.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And I think that's where the tournament's kind of lost. You know, like adding all the teams. I know why they did it, obviously for the money. But when you put all these teams, you know, into a bracket and try to play a tournament like this, it's just difficult, isn't it?
It really is, and it stretches the tournament out for a long, long time, and you really feel bad for those teams playing like today because you know. There's really hardly any. Well, I can't say that because NC State a couple years ago made it.
Yeah, they did.
Really, really, really difficult to make a run through it. But you know, it gives them another game. You know, their season's coming to an end at the tournament because they're not going to the NCAA tournament, obviously. But it just gives them another chance to get out on the court. And you know, you never know. You can lightning in a bottle at times, and that's what happened to NC State a couple years ago. So who says it can't happen to one of these teams? Although it's highly unlikely.
15th time at the ACC tournament is being held in Charlotte, the Queen City in North Carolina. It's the 4th time that the tournament will be held at the Spectrum Center. The first tournament there was in 08, then 19, 25, and then 26 coming up. All right, I got a little trivia question for you. Let's see. You know, if you like me, you can't remember what you had for breakfast, but let's see if you remember this. Only twice in ACC tournament history have we had a championship game without a North Carolina team. Do you remember those 2 years?
Wow. That was a long. I think that's probably quite a. I don't know,
one of them's fairly recent, and one of them is a little bit of history involved. Not too bad, but
no, you're right. I can't remember what I had for breakfast. There's no way there's no way I'm getting that for sure.
1990, I remember that one. It was Georgia Tech and Virginia because I'm a Virginia fan, and then in 2021, fairly recently, Georgia Tech and Florida State played for the ACC championship. So a little trivia for you. But most of the time, there's a North Carolina team there.
There really is, and it's good for us here in the Triangle because it gives us a chance to cover a championship game. But yeah, usually it works out that way for sure, especially with Duke and North Carolina being as strong as they are. And I think that's why people in the ACC complain so much about the tournament being historically in the Tar Heel state. And they want it moved around a little bit more, but because it sounds like, you know, they figure that's why you're dominating. But no, there's 2 really good teams, and state as well has been pretty good. So, yeah, it's nice having pretty much knowing that you're going to be in the championship game. You'll have the team in the championship game on Saturday.
The theme going into this tournament, Gibby, may be injuries because there's an injury story everywhere you look, isn't there?
There really is. And you look at it, you think, well, Duke's the prohibitive favorite, but now they're going to probably be down 2 starters. Patrick Ngungba and Caleb Foster apparently will both be out. For sure, Caleb Foster will be out. And Ngungba could have possibly played in the Carolina game the other day, but they held him out for they wanted to just give him a little extra rest. And I think they're going to do the same thing for the ACC tournament. That team's goal is a national championship. There's no question about it. That's a successful season or not a successful season. That is, they're all in for that. So hopefully they can get those guys back for the tournament. And Ngungba for sure will be back. And we still haven't heard anything about Caleb Foster. It's kind of floating around out there. So they're being pretty mum about that. And of course, then Carolina losing Caleb Wilson, that was just a huge blow. And hated to see that because he's a really good kid and just a great player. So that affects North Carolina tremendously, and that kind of limits their chances of going far in the tournament for sure.
Shire spoke to the media, I think it's about an hour and a half ago, and I just happened to see it on Twitter, but he did announce that Foster's out for the year, that he has a broken foot, had surgery. He's recovering nicely, but that's a big story for Duke, isn't it?
It really is. I didn't hear that. I was over the Carolina Hurricanes this morning getting their morning skate. That is huge. That's tough because that's not a position that they're really deep at. That now means Caden Boozer will take over a point guard, and he was doing really well as a backup. You know, just getting his minutes here and there. Now he's going to have to be the guy to carry it through from here on out, and there's really nobody behind him. Maybe Darren Harris to bring the ball up, or Isaiah Evans, but they, as long as they get it across half court, that they set their offense to the top of the key, so it's not that big of a deal. But you figure if there's some teams that can really pressure you and be good on ball defenders, that might be tough for Duke later on as the tournament gets into like Sweet 16 or the Elite 8.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that's what's going to be the key. You're going to get one of those teams, that just likes to press, like the old Arkansas days, 40 minutes of hell, that kind of thing. And that's going to be a real challenge for Duke. As you look at the ACC tournament, is there a team you think that can go through, maybe not like NC State with the 5 wins in 5 days, but is there a team that's not Duke that can go through and win?
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a huge surprise, and it's your team. It's Virginia, the Cavaliers. I think they're the team that can get to the championship game and win it because Duke or North Carolina, they're going to knock each other off on apparently on Friday night. One of those teams will get knocked out, and both of those teams are wounded going in. So I think Virginia's healthy. They're a really good team, and even though they really got just blasted,
they got blasted in Durham, didn't they? That was men against boys.
I was at that game, and it really was. But Duke had their full lineup out there, and they're playing at the top of their game. But now they got 2 players missing, so it's going to be that brings it back a little bit more level. But if you ask me, I think Virginia's the team, other than say Duke or North Carolina, possibly that can win this tournament.
I was at that Virginia-Duke game as well at Cameron Indoor as a fan just to kind of watch the game, and I was really shocked that Duke was that physical. I thought Virginia might be the more physical team against Duke, but Duke just took – they just looked like men. Like I said, men against boys. They just took the war to them.
They've really got a good offense. And it starts with Boozer. He gets the ball at the top of the key, or Malik Brown gets to the top of the key. And the big guys are such good passers. And then you get Ngungba down low, and just lob it to him, and he dunks or lays it in. And if Boozer has it up top, then Malik Brown is the one down low, laying the ball in or dunking. So it's a really good offense that they have. And against Virginia, they just really exposed Virginia that game. And yeah, I was surprised too, because Virginia has some healthy boys that can belly up to Duke, but in that game they just couldn't seem to do it.
Yeah, they sure could. And NC State may be the Virginia opponent coming up if State can get through their first game. And the Cavaliers have handled State twice this year. You got to think State might be due against Virginia, but we'll have to see how that thing goes through the ACC tournament and then the NCAA tournament. And with you guys having 3 teams, at least 2 of them will make the tournament. I know that's very hard, and you got the Hurricanes still to worry about. You guys need a 10-man staff, don't you?
It would be nice to have a few more people helping us because the Hurricanes are playing great hockey, and they're to the point now where the season's winding down. They're trying to get the number one seed in the East, and right now they are. So I was at practice today, and they're starting to get healthy. It's going to be fun to see how they do. But yeah, they kind of get lost in the NCAA tournament because the NCAA tournament is so huge, and then once the tournament's over, man, it is full bore for us to go with the Hurricanes.
Yes, it is.
And you're doing a little catch up because you haven't given them the love they probably need for 2-3 weeks. So, but once the NCAA's end, and it's all Hurricanes all the time, and it's going to be fun to see how they do because they got a team that can go really far in the tournament or in the Stanley Cup Finals for sure.
Wrapping things up with our good friend Todd Gibson. Which do you like better? Which is your favorite, covering ACC basketball or Hurricanes?
Oh, you put me on the spot. I just
be careful.
I know. I think with my son growing up playing hockey, and when I was a little kid, I actually liked hockey as well. I think it's the hockey. Those guys. First of all, Brian, we have really good access to them, which is great. And second of all, they're all great guys, and that helps too. And we got a great locker room, great culture here at Carolina. Just following these guys, and they're always willing to talk to you. I would say because of the ease it is to get to do our stories with the Hurricanes, that's probably my favorite sport right now to cover.
There you go. Todd Gibson from CBS 17. Hey, have a safe trip or two as you guys cover the events in Charlotte, and, of course, the NCAA tournament. We'll catch back with you coming up later on this year.
Appreciate it, Brian. Thanks so much.
All right, Todd Gibson from CBS 17. We'll take a commercial break right now. Coming up next, Kim McNeill, East Carolina women's coach, the number 2 seed in the upcoming American tournament for the ladies down in Birmingham, Alabama. Back with more on the Brian Bailey Show on this Tuesday after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. Baltimore Ravens running back Keaton Mitchell hit the free agent market yesterday after the team did not issue a tender for the speedy 24-year-old and is free to sign with any team he chooses. The former East Carolina running back rushed for 767 yards and 3 touchdowns in 26 games over the past 3 seasons. He also had 19 catches for 184 yards. And USA Today's Bronco Wire is reporting that ECU alum and Broncos cornerback Jaquan McNeill got a 1-year contract offer from the team yesterday. The Broncos offered him a restricted free agent tender worth $5.81 million. If another team makes him an offer that Denver does not want to match, the team would have to trade a second-round pick to the Broncos for McNeill. And former East Carolina quarterback Gardner Minshew signed a 1-year deal worth up to $8.25 million to play for the Arizona Cardinals. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
UBE and PirateWare.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in downtown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWare.com. Go Pirates!
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
And may I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
After years in the making, the new Papa John's Pan Pizza recipe is ready. Introducing a new pan pizza with edge-to-edge cheese and toppings, a crispy garlic Parmesan crust, and 6 cheeses. It's the perfect balance of a soft, fluffy interior dough and a crispy crust. You'll agree this pan pizza was worth the wait. Order the new pan pizza today from your local Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. Busy show today. And next up is Kim McNeill, head basketball coach for the East Carolina ladies. What a great regular season. Best in East Carolina history, 22-9, 14-4 in the American. The number 2 overall seed in the upcoming American tournament. And her Pirates will open play Friday night at 9 o'clock, which seems like it's going to be a month away. But Coach McNeill joins us live in her office over in Greenville. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on a great year.
Thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate you and all the support that you have given me in this program since I've been here.
We certainly appreciate you. Just talk about your ball club a little bit, because obviously, you know, watching the girls play day in and day out, they seem to get better and better throughout the year. It's a very cohesive group, a group that seems like they really like one another. All of those pretty true facts.
They are. 10 new players. I know we've talked about that, since June. Having 10 new players and just trying to figure out a way to develop that chemistry. I think the most important piece is develop it off the floor, to develop those true relationships. And we did a lot of that this summer. And then obviously, on the court, it's taken some time. We just progressed, monthly, got better in December, got better in January. And, my motto is always, you want to be playing your best basketball in March. I think March is the best time of the year because there's so much basketball going on. But, no, we're excited, and we're excited to be playing in the semis on Friday.
I thought one of the fascinating stats that I read yesterday when Kennedy Fauntleroy was named the co-defensive player of the year was that in your 7 years at East Carolina, you've had 5 different players named defensive player of the year in the conference. That's almost uncanny, isn't it?
It is. When I came in here in 2019, we talked about, our presence defensively. And I'm just a firm believer that defense and rebounding travels. And if you're able to do those two things, because that's all about effort, that's all in your control. If you're able to do those things, I think you're always in the game. I think this year what we did was we added two-way players that wanted to defend and players that could score on the offensive end of the floor. And Kennedy's definitely that. Obviously, being co-defensive player of the year and, being the newcomer of the year, first team all-conference. I mean, the accolades just go on and on for her this year.
Talk about her recruitment a little bit. How did you get Kennedy Fauntleroy down here?
Well, we tried in high school, so it's been a process.
Yeah.
We tried to get her out of high school. She, wanted to stay home and went to Georgetown. Didn't work out there because of a coaching change, and went to Oklahoma State. Didn't work out. Goes to Arizona State. Didn't work out. But we tried it.
Wow.
Single year she got on the portal, Brian. Every year. And this year this past summer she decided to do the right thing and put on that purple jersey. And I would say this has been her most decorated season she's had in her career.
Man, she's got planes, trains, and automobiles going with that deal all over the place. And you see that a lot, though, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a new era of college athletics. It's, what Bobby and Jayla were able to do here in their career. I don't know if you saw, but they've become the winningest class that stayed for 4 years.
I did see that. Yeah, that's got to be cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. All right, talk about just some of the other girls that have really stepped up. You brought all the new players in, but trying to get them to mesh together and everything was a challenge. But a lot of these girls, they've really adapted to that challenge, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to talk about my whole team, Brian. I think at times, everybody has done a lot to help this team be successful. I mean, you start with the starting group. Let's talk about Jayla and Nanjanae, the two that returned from last year. The two kids in the lineup that really only know me and know our system a little bit. So, the leadership that they've brought to the team, on and off the court has been so important. Then we've talked about Kennedy. You talk about Savannah Brooks. You talk about Kiana Rembrandt, who is another one who I recruited out of high school. So I've known her forever. Those five, when you get picked to be a starter, there comes a responsibility behind that. And I thought they got off to a slow start non-conference, and I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with them one morning before a game. I just told them, I said, you guys aren't cutting it. Like you're not stepping up to that role. You're not starting the game off 4 strong. You're not being good role models, for these younger kids. And from that point on, they got their crap together, and they've haven't looked back. Coming off the bench, you got my 2 freshman post players, in Zanaya Zealous and Mildred Dubois, who have come in and had big games for us at times. And then you got Taylor, Barna, who can light it up from anywhere, who's done unbelievable things for us. And then you got Olivia Hilliard coming off playing backup point guard a little bit for Kennedy. So at times, everybody has helped us, Brian, which I think has definitely made us successful.
That's a true team concept for sure. All right, let's look at the bracket a little bit, because this, too, is fascinating to me. First of all, the way the bracket is set up. If you finish first or you finish second, you go right to the semifinals. How much do you like that format, especially this year?
There's some really good things about it. Trust me, really, really good things. But then there's some other things that you're like, we got to sit here and wait.
Yeah.
So as I'm preparing, I gotta prepare for everybody on our side of the bracket for that first game. We just don't know who we're gonna play. You got Tulane and Temple playing here at 2:00, at 1:00. And then then UT San Antonio plays the winner of that, and then South Florida plays the winner of that, and then we play the winner of that. So I've pretty much taken it one night where I take each team, and I'm preparing, one team at a time.
And you have to do it that way, but obviously, that's one of the complications of getting to the semifinals already. But if you look at the numbers, and correct me if my numbers aren't right, because I am getting old, but if you look at it, East Carolina against the 3 seed South Florida, a win there on February 4th. Against the 6 seed UTSA, a win there January 20th. 2 wins against the Temple Owls, the 7 seed. 2 wins against Tulane, the 10 seed. So against all the teams in your bracket, on your side, you're undefeated against. And that's a good thing, right?
We are, Brian, but it's tournament time. Yeah. The girls yesterday, I said, everybody's record is 0-0. Everybody who made this tournament has an opportunity to win a championship. So it doesn't matter what you did against them the first time. It doesn't matter what you did against them the second time. Everybody's competing for a championship. And, that South Florida game went down to the wire. They were up on us by 13 in the third quarter. And UT San Antonio, had 2 players out against us. So, we can't look and say, oh, we beat these guys, we should be good. No, you can't look at it like that. We got to bring our best game on Friday, regardless of who it is we're playing.
And that was the exact answer I was looking for. I felt like I was in the locker room right there, and you were getting, the girls were like, hey, we haven't lost in any of these teams, and you just got to get right on them, don't you?
Exactly.
All right. So when you wait until Friday at 9 o'clock to play, obviously it's a long time. Do you fear rust, or do you think it's an advantage to be that fresh in the tournament?
You can look at it both ways. I mean, South Florida, whoever wins, like one team might come in, they've played 3 games, so they could be a little bit tired. One team could possibly play 2 games, 1 game, whatever. They're going to have the advantage by actually playing on that court and getting the early jitters out, the nervousness, because everybody's going to be nervous their first time out there. Or you could look at it as, this is, our bye week was last week, so we're only going to play 2 games in 2 weeks. You can look at that as a positive. We got some kids that were banged up a little bit with some little nagging injuries, so we're able to get all those young ladies healthy. So it's really been how we practice. And yesterday we went back to summertime practice, just working on all the little things that we know that we'll need to do in order to win versus whoever we have to play on Friday and Saturday. You got to get up and down. You got to keep them in game rhythms, scrimmaging against our practice guys and things of that nature. But, I'm just happy we're in it. I'm just happy we're able to play on Friday. I'm just happy that we had the season that we had and that we finished, second in the league.
22-9, 14-4 in the number 2 seed in the upcoming American tournament. Now, is it kind of like, when you look back at the season, is it kind of like the golfer who maybe has his best score ever? He finally breaks 80. He's at 79, and he goes with the guys and he goes, man, I shot 79, but I left so many out there. I should have made a birdie here, should have made a birdie here. Do you look at the season and say, man, we should have beaten this team, we should have beaten that team? Because there were a couple of upsets on the way, weren't there, that went against you?
I mean, if you want to just talk about conference play, we let 2 go that we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So at Memphis, here against Wichita State. So we really, look at it, we could be 16-2 right now. But what can you do about it? We bring our best game that night, and in this league, you got to bring it every single night. There are no nights off. UT San Antonio beats Rice in regular season play and beat them pretty good, last weekend. So it just shows the parity in this league. It just shows, the great coaches that we have and the great players that we have, that you've got to bring it every single night or you could take a L.
And, you think about it, maybe one of those losses may have a player or 2 that learns something, or maybe the attitude changes a little bit, just enough to get you that big win that maybe you weren't going to get if it hadn't happened.
You always got to find a positive within a negative. You always got to find a way to grow from any situation, even when you win. You always want to look for things that you can get better at. Teaching, lessons that you can teach, throughout wins and losses. So, obviously we went back and we studied those games afterwards. We definitely studied the Rice game, how we could have finished out better when we had the lead with about 20-some seconds left to go and they had the ball at the end. So hopefully all those lessons will, play us some dividends here coming in the tournament here Friday and Saturday.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, what's your travel schedule like? When do you guys leave for Birmingham, and what will your situation, what will you practice, that kind of thing, leading up to the Friday night game?
Yeah, so we practiced yesterday. We're off today, and then we leave in the morning around 10:30. Once we get there, the staff will go over and watch the 2 games. Tomorrow, we will practice as a team, I think, around 3:30 tomorrow at UAB, and do some dinner, things of that nature. Get up Thursday, go watch the game that we will have to play against. And then once we figure that out, we'll go and practice at about 4:30, so we'll know who we're going against and we'll know how to prepare for them.
And what do you do with the girls all day after you practice Wednesday and then waiting on Thursday and then waiting all day on Friday to play?
Trust me, these girls are very low maintenance.
That's good.
They just want to be back, in their rooms, resting, watching Netflix, watching games. A lot of them probably, watch, go back and watch the games that we played. This is a very studious group. They want to know. They're not going to sit and wait for us to give them the scouting report. They text the coaches at night and say, watching games and saying, hey, da-da-da-da, They're very in tune and they're very engaged in what's going on. So, they'll find their way. They'll find their way. We'll do dinner, things of that nature. But, I want them to enjoy this experience. I told them the other day, take advantage of this because you never know when you're going to have the opportunity to compete for a championship. Winning is hard. I don't know when we'll get back here. Hopefully every year, that's the goal and that's the plan, but you just never know. So you want to take advantage of it when it's sitting right here in front of your face.
How much of an advantage is it, Coach, that you've been there and done that? You've won this tournament before.
I mean, obviously, it's very similar because if you remember back in the championship year, we played the late night game every night.
Yeah.
I know Pirate Nation was tuned in 10, 11 o'clock at night. We're so grateful for that, and hopefully they will do the same thing on Friday night and Saturday night as well. But it's just it's a mentality. It's a mentality that you got to go out here and you got to do whatever it takes to win the game. The little things. I told the people coming off the bench, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's 10 minutes, give us your best 5 minutes because that one rebound that you get might be the winning rebound. That one charge that you take might be a game-changing play. So, people just got to come out here and just play their roles, but everybody's got to take their level of play up a notch if we want to come home with another championship on Saturday.
Seems like it's going to be a long week. Tulane plays Temple. That winner plays UTSA. That winner plays South Florida. Then that winner will play East Carolina Friday night at 9 o'clock. A long week ahead, right?
It is a lot of basketball to be watched, and a lot of lessons to be learned, and we will be ready come Friday night.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you and the East Carolina basketball team down in Birmingham. We'll be watching. We'll be covering it, that kind of thing, and hopefully you can win that thing and head back to the NCAA tournament.
I appreciate it, Brian, and thank you, Pirate Nation, for all the support that you guys gave us this year. Truly appreciate it. We're playing for you, and we're playing to bring you guys back another championship.
There you go. Kim McNeill, women's coach at East Carolina. We'll take a commercial break. Back with more on the Brian Bailey Show. Coming up next, Barry Tyndall, his Kinston Vikings playing in the school's 22nd state championship game coming up in Winston-Salem later this week. We'll talk with Coach Tyndall when our show continues after this.
Phelps Chevrolet is the dealer to see for a car or a truck or an SUV. The best service and quality. That's the Phelps guarantee. Phelps Chevrolet, the name you can trust. Phelps Chevrolet, you can count on us. The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Are you tired of dealing with IT headaches? Does this sound familiar? Slow computers, constant crashes, long wait times for IT support, and worries about cybersecurity. If you're nodding your head, it's time to call cybersharks.net. We handle IT so you can focus on growing your business. Fast, reliable, and always there when you need us. Call 321-7800 today and get IT support that actually works. Cybersharks.net. We keep your business swimming.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bond. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
In Beaufort County, success is built together. The Washington Beaufort County Chamber of Commerce connects leaders, supports local businesses, and helps our community thrive. From networking to community events, the Chamber is building a stronger Beaufort County every day. Get involved, grow your network, and help shape the future of beautiful Washington.
For more information on the Washington Beaufort County Chamber of Commerce, including future events and membership, visit wbcchamber.com.
This is Tyler Sneed, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back on this busy Tuesday. Lots going on, lots of hoops everywhere. Charlotte hosting the ACC basketball tournament. Winston-Salem is hosting the high school state tournaments, and Kinston's Vikings will be there coming up later on this week on Friday at 5 o'clock. It'll be Kinston and Walkertown, a 7 seed from the West. Perry Tyndall joins us, the head basketball coach at Kinston. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on your regional title. 1 win away, right?
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, man, we're excited. It's it's tough to get here, and we're tickled to be able to play in the last game of the year.
Kinston knocked off Martin County 73-62, going on a 10-1 run to end the game. How tough was that regional final against those Gators?
Yeah, it was tough. We came out early, did a good job in that game, just kind of weathering the storm. You play in that atmosphere, and we haven't been there in a little while, and so the moment's going to kind of affect kids. And I thought the first quarter we were wound super tight, and it just kind of lended itself to some uncharacteristic things. But I thought we settled down and were able to kind of chip away at the lead in the second quarter. And in the third, we definitely went on a big run to kind of extend. And then, of course, they, like you said, they went on their late run as they did with Farmville, and we were. I loved how we answered to finish the game on the run we did, and to kind of stop you could feel it. I mean, Minji's was electric, and momentum had shifted, and I thought that we just needed to get some buckets, and I thought our kids stepped up in that moment and got some big defensive stops too to kind of separate and pull away.
You called it. You said Minji's was electric, and as I was sitting there, I got a chance to see parts of your game. I had to go back and anchor the 11, and then I saw the Washington game on Saturday, and that Coliseum was absolutely just buzzing. It wasn't a sold out crowd. I don't think it ever sold out, but it was it was really crowded. And you just got to wonder how we have a Division I basketball team and we can't get that kind of atmosphere. And they just can't crack that nut, can they? They've got to figure out a way somehow, because that is such a cool venue whenever everybody's excited, everybody's into it. And I know you had a chance to feel that in your game.
Yeah, man, that place was, I didn't really process it clearly in the moment, but the crowd, I know my brother's sons were trying to get in, and they had like a glitch outside, and so you kind of felt like the crowd was growing throughout the game. But there was just some moments in that game where you could just feel just how amazing the atmosphere was, and like just that Coliseum is a special place, and I think that. We're thankful to be able to have played in that atmosphere. I think out west it was a smaller crowd, and so that was that's meaningful for a high school kid to be able to go in there and see the support from both sides. I mean, Martin County, they showed up, and it was just you can't ask for a better high school environment for a kid to play in, and it's something. It's a memory they'll have the rest of their life. And we've had some, you go back to, and you know this, I mean, the Dudley Kinston games in Minji.
Oh yeah.
And it was there. I mean, there's been some top tier moments in high school games in that building that it's just, to me, it's where the high school regionals It has to be. It's just that special.
Yeah, and we're hoping that maybe they can keep that thing going because, as you said, we've gone to Fayetteville for the regionals, and then last year they did the Final Four format where they had the regional championships were actually at Lawrence Coliseum as well, Joel Coliseum as well in Winston-Salem. So that was difficult for us to cover, but I know it's difficult for fans to get to and that kind of thing. So if we can keep it in Greenville, keep it at East Carolina, and then now you go to State and you go to Winston-Salem. Talk about a couple of your players. Herring had 22. Keyshawn Herring and Jamarian Washington had 20 in that win over Martin County. How good were they on Saturday?
Yeah, they were big. I mean, they both have stepped up defensively recently as well, but they're electric. They're kind of I kind of like to refer to them as thunder and lightning. Keyshawn's just lightning in a bottle, and then Jamarion's such a thunderous, just kind of powerful player, and they both were really good. Genesis Wiggins had been had some huge games leading up to that and had kind of carried us at moments, and they kind of focused on taking away him a little bit, and so he didn't have the game he wanted, but the other two guys, and then Brendan Chambers too with 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's an amazing regional final line too. So we just had everybody kind of stepped up and did some great things for us that got in the game, but Keyshawn and Jamarion definitely were kind of all around great for us and have been all year.
All right, let's talk about your opponent coming up, Walkertown, a 7 seed in the West. You see that 7, and I think, human nature says, well, they're only a 7 seed, but they played Reedsville 3 times, and then we had a chance to see Reedsville against Washington. Man, that is a good basketball team. Reedsville will play for their own state championship on the 4A ranks. Walkertown is 20-8. What do you see in that team?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can throw the seeding out with regards to the way RPI is set up. You can play tough schedule and have some losses throughout the year that can make it look like a 7 seed. And I think the fan that doesn't understand looks at it and says, "Oh, a 7 seed," but no, they're a really, really good team. I think they're a 1 or a 2 seed. Just the way they play, and they've been playing a lot better. And like you said, they've played tough teams and they've been in those games, and so they've got balance, they've got size, they've got skill, they've got shooters, they've got defenders. They're complete, and you don't get this to this time of the year without having that kind of balance on your basketball team. So we're going to face a really, really tough team on Friday, and we're going to have to play really well.
I think you had a lot of pressure on you this year because Ryan Gieselman was going around telling everybody Kinston was a football school. So you had to bounce back, didn't you? You had to get these guys in the state championship game.
Well, I tell you, man, it's always when you look back at it in the years our football team has made it. It's always it's a good thing, because our basketball players kind of were living through their teammates that were playing football, and they to see their success early in the fall and to get a taste of that is I think it helps. It kind of casts we every year we've got goals and expectations, but seeing the football guys get to that point, and Coach Gieselman came in yesterday to practice, and it's why this place is special too. We have a staff that really we all get along, and we want the best for each other. And he came in and just shared with our guys. He said, you can't just be happy with getting here, because he said it felt like some of his guys, it felt like just getting there was the feat was done, but you got to go and finish. And it's just it's good to hear different voices come in and really trying to want to help these kids to keep the right perspective going into the game.
Kinston going for the school's 22nd state championship, going for the 12th state championship in school history. Is there extra pressure on the guys when they put that green jersey on with Kinston across the chest?
Oh, there's no question. I think anybody that says otherwise, this program has been a standard in Kinston in basketball, high school basketball, for a long time, long before I was here, and it will be long after I'm gone. There's just this place is special, but with the uniqueness of our basketball program comes the expectations, and comes pressure, and comes criticism, and comes a lot of things. And because at the end of the day, everybody, they expect you to do something every year in some ways, and I don't think people fully understand just how hard it is to get to this last game. And when you have historic runs, like we had for all those years, it's you can take it for granted. And so our guys, anybody that ever wears this jersey understands it's about, sacrifice. It's about what's across the front of our chest, and not about what's on the back. And Kinston basketball has always been special. It always will be. And our guy, you've got to have a different mindset to play here.
How hard has this week been so far, and how hard will it be the rest of the week to try to keep everybody focused, everybody on the same page? Because it is a long week leading up to the game, isn't it?
It is. It's good though, because it gives you time to prepare. But you've got to kind of. There's a lot more added stuff going on, but it's good. I mean, our guys, I think last week was just kind of a great, preparation, and how we were able to practice off campus and do some things. And then, again, I think it's just it was an advantage for us to play in Minji's and that environment. Lawrence Joel is bigger, of course, but I don't think sorry about that announcement. I don't think that we will. It's just the how electric it was. I think that it would be hard to replicate that in Winston, in such a big venue. But we were able to play and kind of experience what that feeling is like. Because I keep going back. When we were making our run back when we won. 4 in a row, the kids had been there, they had experienced it the year before. It was just kind of, okay, this is what we do. It was, and these kids, this is all new. And so, being able to just kind of experience all of it and enjoy it, because at the end of the day, these things aren't guaranteed. And this journey, you can't replicate it, and you got to go in and enjoy the moment. So we've had several people just really, wanting to step up and provide for the team, and meals. And so it's added some time where we can continue to build some more, just that connectedness with just sitting down and practicing and eating together, and, just trying to enjoy the week leading up, because they're ready. Like you said, I mean, it's a while, but, the guys, they're eager to go ahead and get to that point.
All right, I'm sure you've seen plenty of tape now in Walkertown. How do the two teams match up? Give us some X's and O's and what you're looking for on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said earlier, I think that they're balanced, and I think that matchups wise, I think they match up. We match up well with them. They match up well with us, and I think it's going to come down just to the stuff that has been about here recently, is our ability to sit down and guard and contain. They're athletic. They like to slash. They like to try and turn you over in the half court with some of their mixed up defenses and trapping schemes. So, you're going to have to play clean basketball. Not perfect, and that's what we talked about. But you got to play some clean basketball, and don't let the moment dictate you. You dictate the moment in that arena. And so, rebounding is going to be big. They've got some size, and for us, I think we just continue to play team basketball and do a lot of the little things. We also mentioned yesterday, it's like, you've gone as far as you can. Now are you willing to do whatever it's going to take? There's going to be a lot of small moments in that game where it's a 50-50 ball, box outs. There's just a lot of small moments within the game that, you can't get these 32 minutes back, and this is what it's going to determine who's going to win the state championship and who isn't. And so we just got to stay at it and be willing to do the things that nobody else is going to want to do, and to give ourselves the best chance to, again, facing a really, really good team.
What will your schedule be? Will you guys go up early on Friday?
We will. We'll leave Friday morning. We'll go up. We'll stop and eat lunch on the way. Try and keep eating about the same time we've always had before playing. And we're going to go we'll go have shoot around in Winston-Salem, and we'll do our normal after school walk through, shoot around, and then we'll head over to Lawrence Joel and just kind of sit down for 30 minutes and just kind of get acclimated, look around, and then at 4 o'clock we can get in our locker room and get ready to suit up for battle.
Is it one of those things, Coach, you try to keep things as normal as possible, even though it's a state championship game?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that. I think, to each his own. I think people have different philosophies, but, we want to eat the same way. We're not going to, the Golden Corral jinx, we don't go, we're not eating buffet on a game day. Keep it as normal as possible and routines as normal as possible as an away game. Clearly we're playing at 5, which is a little bit earlier than we would probably tip off on a high school night.
Right.
Time wise and in between times, we try and keep it the same. It's just a little bit longer of a road trip for sure.
Will you guys have buses bringing students up, fans up, that kind of thing?
Yes, they're all still working on all that stuff. There'll be some fan buses coming up, bringing people, and it's tough because 5 o'clock is some people can't get off work and make it up there. So that's somewhat disappointing for people that want to be there that just can't get there. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have support, and if there wasn't anybody there, we've got each other in our locker room right now, and that's pretty powerful right now.
I think you'll have plenty of folks there for sure. 21-3 Kinston against Walkertown, 20-8, and as we said, 3 of those losses for Walkertown came against Reedsville, and Reedsville will play for the state 4A championship. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate your time. I know it's a busy week, even though it's a long week for your team, but best of luck coming up in Winston-Salem. We'll see you up there.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for what you do, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Perry Tyndall, head basketball coach at Kinston and Walkertown for the state 3A championship coming up Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock from Winston-Salem, Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum. All right, we'll take our final break. We'll wrap things up on this edition of the Brian Bailey Show for you right after this.
Greenville Motor Company celebrating 40 years serving the automotive needs of Greenville and Eastern Carolina. Here is Greenville Motor Company's Brian Cook.
Our factory-trained service professionals with years of experience are here to work on all makes and models of your vehicles, and we want to service your vehicles for life. We have comprehensive vehicle maintenance, oil changes, brake service, tire rotations, and much more.
Greenville Motor Company, locally owned by the Cook family, right across from Greenville Nissan at 1000 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Go to drivehherenow.com. Driven by service, powered by trust. Greenville Motor Company.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft, and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
Play it again, sport. Buy, sell, trade. Great deals never felt so good. So good, so good, so good. I saved a bunch of cash. Buy, sell, trade. Using my gear like I never knew I could. Play It Again Sports. Buying and selling new and used sporting and fitness equipment for over 27 years right here in Greenville. Located on Greenville Boulevard across from the Nissan dealership.
If you're looking to make someone's day a little sweeter, Nothing Bundt Cakes has the perfect treat. From our bite-sized buntinis to our delicious 8 and 10-inch bundt cakes, every cake is baked fresh daily and topped with our signature cream cheese frosting. Birthdays, celebrations, office treats, or just because. There's always a reason for a bundt cake. Come see us in Greenville in the Law Promenade Shopping Center near Longhorn and let us help you share a little joy, one bundt at a time. Nothing Bundt Cakes. Make life a little sweeter every day.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arr!
This is Coach Gary Overton, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to the show. As we wrap things up, I want to thank our guest today because we had a busy show. Todd Gibson, our good friend who started his career at WNCT with me over at Channel 9, now with CBS 17 in the Triangle, the ACC tournament, obviously, in their plans this week. That tips off today at 2 o'clock. Pittsburgh and Stanford, that ACC rivalry from way back. They battle at 2, then Syracuse and SMU at 4:30, and in Wake Forest and Virginia Tech in the 7 o'clock game. The good teams in the ACC don't play until Thursday in the quarterfinals. So I want to thank Kim McNeill, East Carolina women's coach. Her Pirates play at 9 o'clock coming up on Friday in the semifinals. What a great bracket that is if you're the 1 seed or the 2 seed. Rice, of course, is the 1 seed. East Carolina, the 2. Tulane Temple opened up that play coming up at 3 o'clock. So we'll see how that happens because that winner plays UTSA, that winner plays South Florida, that winner plays East Carolina in the semifinals. And I want to thank Perry Tyndall. His Kinston Vikings play at 5 o'clock on Friday in Winston-Salem against Walkertown for the State 3A Championship. Going to be a big week. We'll see you back here next week on The Brian Bailey Show.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, and also brought to you by
Bojangles, Bostic Sugg, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, DriveHereNow.com, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
Join us next week for another